Hello everyone, welcome to Clagent Tarot. Today we will be doing a collective reading for the month of July. This is to look at an overall view of how July is likely to be for the collective, and given there have been a significant amount of astrological changes recently and a couple of big ones coming in the next month, let's see if that shows up in tarot and impacts the collective in terms of any big changes, especially with Uranus changing signs into Gemini. I will start with an oracle card to get an overall theme for the reading, and we'll have the Rider-Waite Tarot deck to pull out the main four energies. We'll look at the current energy, we'll look at any obstacles, we'll look at the advice from the spirit, and we'll followed by pull out a outcome card. So we'll also pull out clarifiers for all four of them, and I'll close with the affirmation card to help get you through the energy of the month, right? So let's start with the oracle. This is the Moonology oracle deck that I'm using. We have surrendered to the divine full moon. We have a full moon coming up on around 10th 11th of July, which is in Capricorn. So if you have a strong placement in Capricorn, or if you had any themes that started around first 10 days of January, that are likely to reach fruition around this time, or those themes are going to be focused for you at least in the first half of July. It is asking us to surrender because we have had time to kind of work on it, and it's full moon is a completion, and it's time for us to reap the rewards of what we have sown. So there's not much you can do to change the outcome of what you have been putting effort into now. I think it's time to just step back and let universe take things to conclusion and deliver what's best for you. So that's what's coming out of the oracle cards. I'll start with the tarot pulls, the overall energy for the collective for the month of July. And we have the wheel. So with the Wheel of Fortune, I think the message is clear. There is a change coming in, and hence connecting very closely to the surrender card, right? When the wheel turns, seldom it's being divinely driven, and not a lot of times it's being pushed in a direction by us. So whatever has been set in motion will unfold, and definitely expect the unexpected this month. Uranus changing sign is obviously one more reason for that. We also have Venus entering Gemini, which can bring unexpected good news for people depending upon how your placements are in that sign and which house it sits in. So let's keep going. Let's see what the possible challenges or obstacles are. We have to. So we have the Lover's card. I think you are going to be presented with a fair bit of choice, and let me find a right fit. Okay, let me put two of them. So you're going to be presented with a fair bit of choice, a pathway to select from, and it's about whatever you choose is what you are meant to be on. And your advice is also Nine of Cups. So universe is saying choose from your heart in terms of what you believe is the energy of fulfillment for you. This person on Nine of Cups is often seen as someone who's just had a feast, and that would lead him to having more feasts. It's almost like if you experience or imagine the energy of the outcome you're trying to manifest, then you will be led to that, is what the energy here is in terms of advice. Let's pull an outcome card. Pretty good energy so far. So too many. God. Two message is trying to come in, and I have 1 or 2 cards for the outcome. So we have the Empress energy, which is again an energy of fulfillment, abundance, and a lot of prosperity. I think this is the energy we all want to be in. This is being in a place of our highest and best self. And the previous cards absolutely give a direction as to how to manifest and get there. So don't feel intimidated if you have big choices to make. I'll just pull out clarifiers and we'll see which area of life these choices may present in. But intuitively, to me, it seems like the very essence of who you have believed yourself to be so far is going to change. And so say if you were a job employed kind of a person who would do typical 9 to 5 stints, you would go into entrepreneurship. If you were someone who was a stay-at-home introvert kind of a person, you might find a community that you really resonate with, and you might take on social things to do and engage with. So a big shift in who you are is going to come across. Whatever this shift is going to bring you what's meant for you in the next phase of life. This, given we have so many major arcana, I'll not be surprised if this is a long phase impact of Uranus in Gemini for the next 7-8 years for you, lasting till 2033. But let's see, let's clarify. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so as the wheel turns, not only does it bring you what you're meant to have, it's also asking you to look at things that you have had so far more objectively and look at releasing some things. What it could mean is you may have to take action to let go of a few things to create space for the fresh to come in. And even for this choice to come in, which will be your challenge, you have to probably give up something. So say for instance, taking the example of job to entrepreneurship, right? A lot of people often refer to the fact that you should first do something on the side, get a fair bit of going, and then quit your job. But what I see here is you actually might want to quit your job, get yourself some time, think over what you want to do, and from there build on to what your next venture is. So it's almost like you have to take that leap of faith before you can see a path. So that's the energy that's coming in here. Let's clarify the Lovers in challenge and see what it means. The Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of stealth, but it's also a card of doing things unconventionally, which, in line with what we were discussing, would mean taking calls that people will usually will not take, right? And it may surprise a few people around you. You may surprise yourself, but I think that's okay, because to get different results, sometimes we need to do things differently, and that's what the Seven of Swords here is telling us. Also, you may take a choice when presented with options that you never thought you would. We have another Seven of Wands, clarifying the advice. It's like stand your ground, be firm on what you want, and don't get deterred by whatever people have to say. You know what's best for you, and you will be able to successfully reach where you want. You might also want to kind of self-isolate for a while, given that she's in her meditation bubble, that you might want to disconnect and focus on things that fulfill you and help you fill your cup before you get into action mode. So okay, we have the Devil coming as the outcome. So Devil is someone who it's actually a inverse energy of the Lovers, and it's a choice again. But between choosing addictions or things the way they have been done, or you know repeating the toxic cycles of the past, versus deciding to break free, change routine, adopt new paths. So with this clarifying Empress, it's kind of again going back to the Seven of Swords here, that you have to make that choice which is different, which is less expected, and which would lead you to a different outcome. There's a high probability when this choice is presented that you might want to go for something which is old, comforting, and known to you. That is not going to lead us to the outcome of the Empress here. We really need to kind of step up, listen to that inner voice of what needs to change, or what we want to do differently, even though it scares us or we don't have a path to get there. I think make that choice and the rest of the things will unfold. Fair bit of major arcana, big energies here. I would say that though this is a July reading, it may pan out longer, and some of the outcomes may come out around the Libra season somewhere in October. So it's more like you initiate and pick up new things right now, which would take 3 to 4 months to start showing some shape and form for you in terms of outcome, but they will be extremely fulfilling when they come into fruition. So hang in there and keep going. I'll pull out an affirmation card to see how the energies close for this month. We have a card that's flipped. I am always perfectly protected. So that's kind of a confirmation in terms of, even if you choose something which you feel is different and feel scared of, you are going to be protected. When a fearful thought comes up, I recognize that it is trying to protect me. I thank it and let it go with love. So it's time to let go of your fears. The universe has your back. Things will work out, and I'll see you next month. Have a great month.